All right. So back to what I was. Okay, you guys just want to copy my code. That's why you want to record it.
No, not really, not really. We are actually paying attention to.
Yes.
So when you are looking at the code, we can now understand better.
So that we can go over it
copy my
again.
code, you shall get there.
Exactly.
Sorry, I have a
Okay.
question.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, please, about generating the password. Is it compulsory we use this particular method? Because I saw another method which I used for my assignment.
No. It's not compulsory. It's not compulsory to use this method. Just
All right,
make
thank
sure that you get what is asked of you. The first
Okay.
two of the first name
The first
and the
name,
last
the
two of
last
the last name plus random 5. You can use any stars you want. You don't have to use
All
it.
right. All right, thank you.
Yeah. So moving on, yeah. While the condition returns true, do everything that is in this block. And if you notice something here, Python uses something called indentation to indicate a block. Other programming languages, let's say if you are in JavaScript or you are in PHP, if you do something like this, condition, you have to do something like this. Have you guys seen this before?
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah. So that is how
Yes.
other programming languages work. But Python uses indentation to indicate a code block. So this is it. As long as this condition returns true, it will do everything that is inside this indentation. So that is what I'm doing here now. Set my status true while true. Now user details. Remember the user details I got using this function. That's the first step. Now generate password from those user details. After generating the password, you print the password. Ask user if he would like to continue. So this is it. The user enters yes or no. If the user enters, you see now.
I'm coming. I'll go and wait.
You see now we've come to a new loop here. You see this is our first while loop. Yeah? Is anybody confused?
No, we're with you.
So that was our first while loop. This is our second while loop. And I called the password loop. And again, see what I did here? I set status equals true. And I now for inside the password loop, I set it equals true again. So if this variable that the user gives me, if it equals yes, append the password that I created. That's the user likes the password I created. Append it to the user details and append that user details to the overall container I created. Remember where I created the container here?
Yeah.
Are you guys with the flow?
Yes. We
Yeah,
can
we're
hear
with
you.
you.
If the user likes the password, please break out of this loop. Are you saying I changed password loop now equals true. I changed it to false so that this condition will return false and it will break me out of this loop. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You can actually use the statement break to do that, but I just want to indicate what is actually going on. That's why I decided to do this method. Or if you can do something like break. Break is a keyword in Python and it will break your loop. But I just wanted to really explain what is going on. That's why I did that. So that is if the user likes the password. Else, the user does not like my password. Put your own password and make sure that it's equal to longer than or equal to 7. And if the user puts a password, we have to check if the password is longer than or equal to 7. You know that, right?
Yes.
So if we don't use a while loop, you see another while loop. So this is like our third while loop. The first one, the second one, and the third one. And all of them are inside code blocks of each other. Are you guys with me?
Yeah, we are with you.
Yes.
Okay. So while again I did that same thing, I set the password length, just a variable, I set it equals true. While true. If the length of the user password is greater than or equal to 7. That is, the password the user gives me is satisfactory. I append it to the details, and I append that details to the container. Then I set this now equals false to break out of this loop, and I set password loop equals false to break out of the whole password loop. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
I don't
Else,
understand it.
I don't
Can you
understand.
repeat it?
okay, where do I start repeating from? Okay. Let me give a brand new example. I have HNG equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is an example of a loop in a loop, yeah. What's my second names equal to? I think I did this example in the YouTube video. Has anybody seen the YouTube video here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So you should understand the concept of loop in a loop, yeah. Or is it still not clear?
It's clear.
Clear.
Well, somebody is still having confusion, so I need to do an example. I didn't hear. So this is my first list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is my first list, and that is my second list. If I do while true, print print HNG. If I run this code, watch. HNG. Okay, I didn't run this guy. This thing just keeps running and running and running and running and running. If I let this thing, it will crash my laptop, so I need to pause it. But it keeps running and running and running and running and running and running. Because why? This condition is returning true every single time. Are you guys with me?
Yeah, sure.
So you see how many times it just keeps running because this condition returns true. I have to find a way to make this condition return false so that it will break out of this loop. So if you want your program to run for a while, you can use for loop if you know the exact amount of time you want it to run. But for this case, we don't know how many users want to enter the code, want to enter their details, I mean. So you use this particular construct so that it will keep running till you set a condition that will return false, and this goes. So that is that whole while true and while whatever I was trying to do there. So let me do this. Let me change the loop again. For item in HNG, print names. So it will, for item in HNG here now, this item is a temporary variable. Can you guys hear me? This item is a temporary variable. So for each occurrence of for this, print this whole thing. After this ends, come here again, print this whole thing. I'm trying to explain the concept of loops to you. So if you see the result now, for 1, it prints out devious this. For 2, it does this. For 3, it does this. Like that till the very end. That is the concept of loops. But if you adapt it to our situation, we want a loop to keep running till the user ends it. And I don't know how many users are set. So I use while true so that it will keep going. Like I mentioned, there are 2 types of loops. There's the for loop and there's the while loop. I said in the video I prefer for loops, but you can also use while loops. And in this particular condition, we need a while loop. So starting from beginning again. Where is that? Where will be? Where will be? Where is my? Let's come here. You see this? You see this? Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
This is a loop. I'm looping back. If is the password greater than or equal to 7? No. Go back to the beginning. Is there another user? Yes. Go back to the beginning. So that is this construct is what I am doing here. So let me start from the very beginning, from the very first while statement. We want our program to keep running till the user ends it. That is why I'm doing this. As long as this condition returns true, keep doing everything within this code block. Do everything within this code block as long as that condition returns what? True. So moving on, the first step is getting the user details. The second step is generating the password, which we explained already. Now, do you like the password? Yes or no? If you put yes, this is what is going on here now. If you put yes, append the password to details and append the details to container. This is like the overall container that I set up here. That is what this is. Now break out of this password loop because I set a password loop because this password loop it will continue. Do you understand me? I'm doing it repetitively. I don't know how else to bring it down, but this is like the best minimum. You use loops to do something repetitively. I've said that over and over and over again. You use loops to do something repetitively. So I set the password loop equals true. Yeah. So if you like the password, break out of this password loop. There's no need to go further with the password loop. Do you get me?
Yeah.
And why I actually put this, one more reason why I put this password loop is if you enter a password that is what? That is not oh, sorry, I put something in my eye.
Sorry.
If you enter a password that is longer than or equal to 7, this other loop kicks in to check the length of the password.
Sorry.
Yeah, thank you. So where was I? Yeah. First, do you understand this? Do you guys understand? Do you guys understand what is going on here?
Yeah.
Please tell me you
Yes.
understand.
Yes.
Okay. So do you understand what is going on here now? Please tell me you understand.
Yeah, we do.
So you don't understand what's going on here. Remember when I explained if statements? Remember when I explained if statements? Yeah, I was like, if this happen, do this, else do this other thing. So that is basically what is going on here. If the user likes the password that we set, he will put yes, and when he puts the yes, that is the end of the program for that particular user. So put the password in the details that we collected and put those details in the container and break out of this password loop. That is set it equals false. But if the user does not like the password that we give the person, set your own password. Now, after setting, who is writing on mine?
It's not funny. That person should stop, I beg.
So if you don't like the password I gave you, set your own. And I want to check if the one you gave me is greater than or equal to 7. So I have to check it in a loop. Because if I don't put this loop here, if I check it once, it will stop. Do you understand me? If I don't put it in a loop, you put a wrong password the first time, it will just tell you your password is less than 7 and it will stop. It won't give you another prompt. But I want it to give you another prompt. So I say I set this equals true and use it in a loop. What you can name this variable anything you want. So while true, if the length of the user password is greater than or equal to 7, append the password to the details and append the details to this container. Break out of this loop, this small loop here now, then break out of the larger loop because we are done with passwords. Basically, it's just username. You collect the first name, you collect the last name, you collect the email, then you collect the password. All these complications are coming in the password step. Else, you don't like my not you don't like. Your password is less than 7. Is anybody there with me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the length of the user password is greater than or equal to 7, that means we are okay. That is what we want. Do all this. But if your password is less than 7, I will bring back this prompt. And when I bring back this prompt, this loop will run. Where's that other loop? This loop will run again to bring out this prompt back to you. This is like basics, and that is why I wrote this code in this particular manner, because I could have used functions to make it more functional, but I want to write procedurally so that you would see everything happening in every step. So that is the end of the whole password step. Now, after the password step, see what I have done here. I have gone out of this. Oh, easy. Yep. I have gone out of this whole password block. Can you guys see my screen properly now?
Yep.
Yeah.
I have gone out of this whole password while block, and I move on to the user. I ask the user now, would you like to enter a new user? Yes or no? If new user equals no, set the status equals false. That's end this loop for me. Don't go back again. Set the status equals false. Then for item in container, print out item. Else, that means you would like to enter a new user. Status equals true. Start this whole process from beginning. So I'm running this now. Enter your first name, Davis. So this is the password I generated. You can see this is the first two from the first name I gave, and this is the last two from the last name I gave, and this is the random 5.
Random. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, do you like the generated password? Yes, I do. And that is the end. Would you like to enter a new user? Yes, I would. It starts again from beginning. Are you saying?
Okay.
Michael. Smith at yahoo.com. So if you look at this now, this is the first 2 letters I gave, the last 2, and the random 5. So the other time we chose yes. So now let's go no. No, I don't like this password. So it tells me now enter a password that is less than or equal to 7. If I give it a password, just 2 letters, tells me your password is less than 7. And it reprompts me. That is the work of this. That is the work of this while loop here.
Oh, okay.
Is that clear now?
Yeah.
If I give it something that is greater than or equal to 7, do this block. Else, do this block. But if I don't put it in a while loop, it won't reprompt me. It will just end there. So now I give it a password that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it accepted that. So would you like to enter a new user? Once it accepts my password, it comes to this place and it asks me, do you want to enter a new user? Yes or no? If I say no, then it will break out of the loop by setting status equals false. And sorry, I was going through the chat. So yeah, that was that. Would you like to enter? Once the whole password step is done, it comes down here and it tells me, would you like to enter a new user? If I say yes, it goes back up. Status is what? True. But if I say no, it sets status equals false and it prints out everything in the container that I've given it. So if I say no here now, it prints out the two details I've collected. Your own printout should be better than this, but I just did this for, for demonstration sake. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
So please ask your question.
Hello, sir. Please,
Yeah.
why did you use string function? The string
Okay, up
function
here.
after
Okay.
no, not that one, not the library.
Yeah.
I mean, around the user, your user password, you put input then string.
Yes.
I thought string. Once you use the input function, is automatically in the
Yes,
string.
convert to string.
It automatically
Yes, it's
receives
automatically
strings.
in the string, but this is, you can choose to do this, you can choose not to do this. It's not
Okay.
it's not a
I just wanted to confirm. Thanks.
okay, you can choose to do it, you can choose not to do it.
Yeah.
Any other question? Please ask your questions. Don't be after copying my code though. Be
I
after
think there is
understanding what
a guy asking question on the chat, Maximus.
okay. Maximus. I think the main issue in this
Yeah,
chat
I just
is
answered that.
the number 5 question that require use us to save in dictionary that two persons can run consecutively. I thought that's what I've been talking about from the beginning here. You not just two persons can run consecutively. More than two persons can you can continue whole this whole structure can run for as long as you want, as long as status remains true. Immediately you set status equals false, it breaks the loop. So that is why you use a while loop, because I don't know how many times this thing will run. Okay, let's say I want to run a program 5 times. I can set I is equals 0. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
While I is less than 5, because this goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I want to run this program 5 times. Print hello. Remember what I said about incrementing in that video? Yeah. So this will run 5 times. About incrementing this.
Yes.
If I don't put this will keep running. See, it's running and running and running and running. So please make sure you I plus equals to 1. So this goes 5 times. Now let me explain this construct. Yeah. I is equal to 0. While I is less than 5, print this. So it checks what is the value of I the first time. 0. What this condition returns true. Is I less than 5? Let me do that. Let me do this. 0 less than 5. See what is returning? True. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as long as this condition, for the first one now, I is 0. So is 0 less than 5? True. Print this. Now, I plus equals to 1. Let me do this. I equals I plus 1. So after printing this, it increments I by 1. I now becomes 0 plus 1. I is what? 1. So it comes back up again. Is 1 less than 5? 1. True. So print this. 1 plus 1, I becomes what? 2. Is 2 less than 5? 2. True. Print this. 2 plus 1 equals 3. Is 3 less than 5? True. Print this. 3 plus 1, 4. Is 4 less than 5? Print this. 4 plus 1, 5. Is 5 less than 5?
No.
False. And it doesn't do this loop anymore. So I did this now because I want to run 5 times. But in our case, we don't know how many users are in the queue. Do you understand me?
Yes,
Let me just
we
respond
do.
to somebody in the chat. Somebody is asking if I recommend Jupyter. I use Jupyter because I do data science. Yeah, that is why I use Jupyter, because it makes my work easy. But for your case, you can use any IDE you want. If you want to use Jupyter, no problem. You can use Jupyter. But the issue is Jupyter comes as part of Anaconda, and Anaconda is huge. So if you don't have if your system doesn't have the
Space
particular
requirements.
specifications to run Anaconda, I don't see why you should be using Jupyter for it. So this is just because I do data science and this is my work environment. So that's why and you see this thing, yeah, this cells, it enables me run only this particular set of codes. Do you get? So that is why it's advisable. But if you are using any other IDE, I don't think you can run individual parts of the code separately. So back to what I was saying. What was I saying?
While loop.
Yeah, I was talking about while loops. So I set this less than 5 because I want to do this 5 times. But in our case, we don't know how many users are in the queue. You know, we don't know how many users are in the queue. So, but one thing we know is that we want to run the loop as long as the condition returns true. So we can just set true. While true, keep printing everything that is there. It just keeps running. And I have to stop it by myself.
Can I ask a question?
Okay, shoot.
Yeah. My name is Maximus. I was the one that sent the message on chat.
Okay.
What actually I joined late because I was having issue with my Zoom, so I didn't know where you started. But my concern is, if you create a dictionary, can it be able to occupy all the things? Maybe I use different name. That one it says it's another. If another person comes again and enter a different name, will it also be saved in the same? Containing all the things imputed.
Okay. Let me listen. Just look at the dictionary. Let me are you seeing my screen?
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
So you can do something like this, user 1. You know, dictionaries are key value pairs. So user 1, you put the person's first name, Davis, last name, what's the password? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is one user. Yeah? Are you guys with me?
Yeah.
So this is the second user, user 2. You put the same command C. So you are seeing this, yeah?
Yes,
as many users as you want, you can put them in the dictionary. This is now user 3 with a different set of names. So I'm just doing this as an example. So this is user 4. So when if I run this now and do user 1, it gives me user 1 details. That is why I said you should keep track of who has what. And you can do that with dictionary using key value pairs. But for the example I did, I used a list, which you can also do. Are you with me? So if I do user2, I get details for user2. Let me change this so that you really see that it's user2. Okay, so if I do this and I do user2, you see, I'm getting details for user2. So these are key value pairs. Now I see why you asked that question you asked. How do you, I think what you wanted to ask is, how do you put that in a dictionary? So let's say, let me go back up. So let's say I use the dictionary here. Users is equal to this. Yeah. So this place now that I did this, I could put user number. Can you see me? Can you see what I'm doing?
Yeah, user.
Yeah. So I'm trying to use a dictionary now instead of a list. So users, this is like the whole container. User number is equals 1. So for this case, instead of, I would say user number. Let's say the variable user number is equal to what? Are you with me? So I do the same thing here. Yeah. So if you would like a new user, so user number is equal to user number plus 1. So for item in users, print item. Okay. So let's see if this works. If I run this now, Davis, yes, I like the password. User mark.
By pressing Command and slash on Mac or Control
Mark at yahoo.com. Oh shit. Mark at Yahoo. I entered the wrong detail. Yahoo.com. Do you like the password? Yes, I do. No. Let's see what it does. Okay, so it gives me value pair. So let's see, print item get values. Let's see if that works. I'm going to do something down here. User should get user one. Is that thing? Okay, let's do this. Help. Pick. See that help? That help. You guys remember this from the YouTube video?
Yes.
You guys remember this from the YouTube video?
Yes.
Okay. So get user should get user one. Return the value for the key if the key is in the dictionary. So why is this not working? I have this. This should work. Yeah, there it is. So this get user one. So let me put stop. Get item. I see that as users. Yeah, I did. Okay. Details. No. Just yes, I like my password. Move on. Would you like to enter a new user? Yeah. Enter your first name below. Mark. Mark@yahoo.com. Your password is this. Yes, I like my password. Would you like to enter a new user now? Okay. You see now, I'm printing out each of the items in the dictionary using the dictionary key. Who asked that question?
Maximus.
Maximus, yeah. So before I was using a list, now I changed it to dictionaries. I'm no longer using container. I'm using users. So at first I initialize an empty dictionary and I initialize an empty key. Not an empty key, the first key to indicate the first user. Do you understand these two lines?
I understand that users, that's the dictionary you initialized.
Yes.
The key.
So I initialize the empty dictionary and I initialize an empty key. First of all, not an empty key, the first key, user number. Okay. So I come here now. You see where I was appending it in the list. Now I'm using the dictionary. Users, that's my dictionary. Dot the key, that's the user number. Dot details. Remember, my user number starts at 1. That's my first user number. Then at the end of this whole program, my user number becomes what? 2. Do you understand me?
Yeah, user number. Okay.
Your user number becomes 2. So when you are appending the second one now, instead of having 1, as in user 1 and the details, you have 2 and the details. So when you are printing it out, I'm using users.get item, and this item now represents that key. This item is what is in this item is the same thing as what is in user number for each of the users. That's for each of the loops. So if this whole thing runs once, yeah, that is a user. The whole construct runs once for a user and increments user number to user number plus 1. Are you with me?
Yeah. It's confused.
It's not still complicated. Okay, let me break it down. Let me show you how to append something to a list.
Can you run it down again from the beginning? Just explain from that initialization of those, the dictionary and the key.
Like run the whole code, or just the
just explain. Yeah, how the code runs.
Yeah. How many
from
people
the
want me to run the
initialization
whole
of
code from the beginning?
Yeah, I think just the dictionary part.
Just the dictionary.
From
you can explain how to append it.
The explanation, from initialization.
First, let me show you how to append to a dictionary. Yeah, I think we should start from there. We have an empty dictionary, empty dict. This is my empty dictionary. Yeah, and I want to put something in this dictionary. I can say empty dict. I'm giving it the key now. Whatever I put here now is the key. First key. And I give it a value. Whatever I put here now is a value. This is the first value. Are you with me? So if I do empty dict now, you are seeing it. Key and what? Value. That is how dictionaries work. They are key value pairs. So if you go back up here now, if you go back up here, that thing I did down there is the exact same thing I'm doing here. This is the dictionary name, the key that I initialized here, and which increments for every new user. That is the key. Then the details for that user. That is that thing. This thing I just talked about is the exact same thing I did here.
How did you capture the details?
How did I capture the details?
Yeah.
I already talked about it like at the beginning, using this function. Get details. You input your first name, you input your second name, you input your third name. I add them all to this list and I return the list. Are you guys with me?
Yeah.
So that is how I captured the details. Any other questions, please? I think the questions will help me clear up your confusions. So any other question?
Okay.
Sorry, I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sorry. Let me get in the details. I noticed you put a backslash then hen.
Yeah.
As in
You can
the
forget
input.
about just. You can forget about this.
I can forget about it.
Yeah, it was just to indicate new line, but you can choose to do it. Now we're not looking at aesthetics. What I'm looking at now is, do you understand the concept? Because your code works.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking at. That one is just aesthetics. You can choose to do it that way.
Oh, all right. Okay.
But can you capture the password as part of the details?
No, you're not capturing the password. You're generating the password. I didn't capture any password here. So after capturing the details, remember the task said your password should be the first two letters of the first name, the last two letters of the last name, and a random five string. That is what I'm doing here now. I passed it these details I collected from here. I gave it as a list, and I sliced from that list the first two. I explained this in the very beginning.
No, my question was, the password, is it supposed to be part of the results that is printed at the end?
Yes. Yes, I want to see it so that I will know that you did the slicing properly.
Okay.
That's just why I want to see it. But in real user conditions, you don't give anybody a password. But here I want to see it so that I will be sure that you did the slicing properly.
Okay, sir, can our details in under that get details function, can it be a dictionary too?
Yeah, definitely. It can be a dictionary.
Because I found out that after printing, while we're printing the whole container, I found out that what we did was that we said user is now equals to the list in the dictionary in the details. All right. Thanks so much.
Yeah. More questions. Because I want to be sure you understand this thing so that you won't just go and copy my code and paste it.
Excuse me, sir.
If the code be made available.
Excuse me, sir.
The code will not be made available.
Excuse me, sir. Please go over the while loop so that I want to see how it's done again, please. How you use the functions from the two parts, please.
Okay, here I just get details and does everybody understand how functions work?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If there's anybody that doesn't understand how functions work, please speak up. Okay, so everybody understand how functions work. So let me go back to the very beginning. This is my whole, like I said, I want this program to keep running till the user ends it by himself. We all understand that.
Yeah.
And I explained why I'm using while through. I explained that. See? Have I explained why I'm using while through?
Yes, you did.
Sir, please just go ahead again.
I am using while through because I don't know how many users are in the queue. So it should just keep running till I set that to equals false. Then it stops. That is why I'm using while true. I did an example at the bottom here. I think I removed it. But that is essentially why I'm using while true, because I didn't know how many users I would use. So just continue running this till I set that thing equals false. So my status is equals true, and while true, the first thing, get me user details and generate the password from the user details. Is this clear? This
Yes,
is
sir.
like the third time I'm going through this. So
So
after that,
can we see that get details? The function, that get details function, please.
this is the function. So back to what I was saying, you get details and you get the password by passing in these details you got into the generate password function. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
So after I have gotten details and I have generated a password, what's the next step? Do you like the password? If you like the password, append the password you got to the details. Yeah. And I did this when I was using a list. Now I'm using a dictionary, but they're still there. I can choose to comment out this one, or I can choose to, let me just go back to what I was doing before. So append it to the overall container that we initiated in the beginning. Remember where I initiated the container? Outside the while loop. Because if you set this container inside the while loop, for every time this thing runs, it resets the container. And if it resets the container is empty, then you have lost the users you saved in the beginning. Do you understand that? So that is why it is
No, I don't
outside, so that it
understand.
doesn't. If I put this here now, if I put this inside this place, for every time this code runs, like for every time this whole code block executes, yeah, it resets this container to empty, losing all the people I have saved before. And I don't want that to happen. So you set it outside your loop so that it remains as it is. You just keep appending to it. Most of these things will come with intuition. You don't start today and expect to understand it all today. But with time you would actually get most of these things. So like I was saying, yeah. Password like is equals to input string. Do you like the password generated? If this thing is yes, what do? Append it to the details and append the details to the container. Now break out of this password loop. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Okay, can I just take like a minute to ease myself? 1 minute, please. Just 1 minute.
Is anybody there?
Yes,
I'm coming. Go.
It took a minute to.
I'm coming.
While I wait for him, I want to ask, maybe you understand better than me to explain. In the issue of password, he did something. Say password is equals to
I'm coming.
get details and include the details inside. That particular place, I'm confused.
What he did was that the details are there already, so we are just trying to add a new item to the list. Like the details is a list already, so we are trying to just add another item to that list. And that item we are trying to add is the password. So we'll get the complete information about one particular user. I don't know if you understand.
I don't, because that statement, what he did there can override what is in the details.
No, we are not overwriting, we are appending, we are adding. It's overwriting actually. by adding one more item to the.
It's not what you're seeing on the screen now. It's not what you're seeing on the screen that I'm talking about.
Which one are you talking about?
If you can, that the particular spot you mentioned password. Do you understand?
Okay.
Where you started with the password. You say password is equals to get details.
Okay. There he was trying to get the details from. We are generating the password from the first two letters of the first name and the last two letters of the last name. So he was trying to call those details, then use it to generate a password by adding that first two letters of the first name and the last letter of the last name to another string that we have generated already. So that was what he was trying to do there. Do you understand?
Hello? Hello, can I say something?
Okay.
Yeah. Now, I think that place is a function. And when you have a function, you first define the function and state the arguments that will be in the function. Do you get me? If you watch that guy's video, the video he gave us, I think he really explained about it. When you want to define a function, you start with def, and you place some arguments like in that bracket, the things that will be in the function. So I think the name of the function here is that password. Yeah. Okay.
Look at what I'm talking about. Okay, see what I'm talking about. Password is equals to generate password details. That's the
Maximus. Oh yeah, listen. I did that explanation before, and I will do it again because of you, because it looks like you're very confused about it. Look, this is I have run these two functions here. If I do details is equals what? Get details. It says enter your first name. My first name is Davis. Enter your second name. My second name is this. Enter your email address. Davis at yahoo.com. That ends that first function. Yeah? And every single thing is saved inside what? Saved inside what? This details variable. You see there, Davis, Ago Alarm, and Davis at yahoo.com.
Okay.
Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
See, all the values I gave it is saved inside these details. Why? Because my function is returning this. My function is returning a list. If you don't put return, the function will not return anything. So my function returns that list, and I save that list inside this variable. Now, to generate a password, I asked you to get the first two letters of the first name, get the last two letters of the last name, and add a random string. Yeah? So the second function now is, okay, no, let me leave that. Password is equals what? Gen password. And I pass it this thing so that it will know the first name and the last name to actually slice. Are you with me, Maximus?
Okay, sir.
So that is what this thing is. Gen, let me not even save it into a variable. So gen, remember the second function we created. This is the second function we created. Yeah. Gen password details. It collects the details. Like the function takes this as an argument. Generates. It brings all the ASCII letters, and I showed you what this is. This is it. ABCD to XYZ in lowercase and in uppercase. That is just what this thing is. And I want the length of the random password to be what? 5. Yeah. So I used this to select 5 of this just randomly. Select any 5 of this randomly. That's what this line is doing. Now I said the first two of the first name and the last two of the last name. But those things are contained in where? This details list.
Details.
They are contained in where? Details. And that is why I passed details to this generate password function. So if I do, I talk about string indexing in that YouTube video. List indexing, I mean. So if I do details.0, gives me the first name. Details.1 gives me the last name. But I don't want the full first name. So details.0 gives me the first name. But I want only from 0
second.
DA. That is what this whole thing is. Are you with me? And I had to, if I don't put it here, how would this function know?
That's true.
Function state argument. So if I don't tell it, this is what this is going. Code is garbage in, garbage out. What you tell it is what it does. It doesn't know what is inside your mind. So, and like I said, this was for the first name, and for the last name is this. I don't want the whole last name. I want only the last two. So I do this -2, and I get the last two. That is what this thing is. Plus the random password that I have gotten from here. And in the end, return this. Is basically what these two functions are. Does everybody understand this now? Because I will not be doing that.
Yes.
Okay. I think your problem is the loop, and that is why I am trying to go over the loops as many times as I can. Are you with me? So does everybody understand what a while loop is? Let's start from this.
Yes.
You understand what the while loop is?
Yes.
Yes, we do. We understand what the while loop is.
So what is the challenge?
The challenge is that we would really love you to keep, or maybe send us this, or look for a way to, for us to get this code that you've written so that we can study it ourselves.
But if I give it to you, I've solved the task for you now. Why not?
That's true. That's true.
If I give it to you, I've solved the task for you. And
But
I've
at least,
actually given it to you because I've been showing it since you must have copied it right now.
Okay, can you make it available when this test is expired?
Definitely, when the task
Yes, yeah, that should be better.
When the task is over, I'll share
Okay,
it.
I also
But
noticed that, I'm sorry to cut you short. I also noticed that you used, for the while loop, you used in some places where you're supposed to use break, you use something else.
Yeah.
Why didn't you use break instead?
Yeah. Okay, so I explained that, yeah? And I said this was how I choose to go about it, so that I would explain the concept of as long as the condition remains true and when the condition becomes false. That was why I used okay, let me I set status here equals true. Yeah, can you see? While this condition while this thing returns true, keep doing everything that is in this block. But immediately it changes to false, break out of the block.
Okay. Okay.
I said it earlier that I could have easily used break, but I didn't want to do that because I want to pass that message of while the condition remains true.
Okay. Okay,
That
very
was why
understandable.
I
Thank
did
you.
all this. Yeah. So that was why I did all this, so that you would see what is actually going on behind, rather than just
What can make the
more
condition to be false?
You set it to return false. When you are done with your loop, you set it. Look at this status true, and here I set it to return false, and that was at the end. Remember the example I did about? Let me do that example again.
It's the while something. Why?
So, excuse me, please. Can you just show us the screen for where the status becomes false, please? Just that area.
Because it looks as if it's out of date.
No, it's not. It's not. I explained something about. Python using indentation. Do you understand me? I showed you. when I put clear. I showed you this condition. This is how other programming languages define code blocks. This. I know you must have seen this in your JavaScript or PHP class or anywhere. You have seen this. So as long as this condition returns true, it will do everything inside this code block. But Python doesn't work like this. Python works with indentation. If this condition returns true, do everything that is written from here. Not this other side that is written, I don't know, this place where this cursor is. Do everything that is written from this cursor to the right. So immediately I step out back here, it has gone out of that condition. Who is playing music there?
Please put off your TV.
Excuse me, sir. Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah.
I think I have the answer to Maximus' question.
Which
Hello?
one?
Yeah, it was. I think the answer he needs is the loop. When the loop keeps running, taking more users. The moment there's no more new user, that's when the status will be equals to false.
Exactly.
And that's when it will break the loop. You see that condition.
Exactly.
If new user is equals to no, so when the new user is equals to no, status now equals to false. It's a condition that was set in the code. You get that, Maximus? When there's no more new user, status will be equals to false, meaning the loop is coming to an end.
Any more questions? Shoot, ask. Let us all clear this.
Sorry, but is it only me? This Jupyter looks like it disorganizes code. Like, I don't know, maybe it's how you wrote it or something. Seriously, this code look like 1,000 lines of code. Like, seriously.
No, I actually spaced it so that you would see what is going on. I can decide to use VS Code.
Just one page.
I'm sharing only just one cell, basically.
Yeah.
Just one cell. It's not a lot. And all the spaces I added here is now making it look like it's plenty code.
Yeah, the spaces are
only what you need.
for good readability.
This is the only cell you need. All these other cells are just me explaining stuff.
Okay, now I get.
Yeah, this is the only cell you need. Every other thing here is me explaining stuff.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Topper says, what happens when the input is not yes or no for new user prompt? I didn't take that into account because your task does not take that into account. So when I'm testing your code, I'm only testing it for the correct input. Other tasks, you now have to use something called try and except to catch exceptions outside the correct user input, and you return message. You understand?
Yeah.
The top there asks that. It says, I think I always prefer to also specify or use .lower to make sure that the input is not case sensitive. Yes, you can use .lower to make sure the input is not case sensitive. Like I said, I'm not testing for wrong inputs. When I read your code, I look at the inputs you specify and I use exactly that, because your task doesn't say you should check whether a user enters rubbish or not. So that is for this task. Other questions?
Yeah.
Other questions?
Hey God, who is this now?
Any more questions, or do you just want to keep looking at it? Don't shut up, please. Yeah, somebody wanted to say something.
Yeah, I want to say, according to what you explained, the function of while loop, is that just the difference between while loop and for loop?
I won't say that.
Who's saying this now?
I won't say that is the.
Oh my God.
won't say that is the only difference between a while loop and a for loop. Like I said, yeah, the for loop is mainly used when you like you know how many times you want this thing to run.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you see some other, like in PHP, because I don't use Python for web development, I use PHP for web development. So if you see let's say something like Java in your for loop, you have to specify 3 conditions. This will be your first condition, your first input. Can I remember exactly? This will be your terminating condition. Okay, yeah. I think
Hey, who is this
Sir,
now?
can you just mute all of us, please? Please just mute all of us.
Okay, I muted everybody. So people that have important things to say, unmute yourselves back. So can you guys see this? Somebody should speak up.
Yeah, can
Yes.
see.
Yes, sir.
So in a programming language like Java, this is what you see for a for loop. You get? So you have to specify all these conditions. You know exactly how many times you want this thing to run. But for this our condition, we don't know how many times we want it to run. Do you get? That is why I decided to use a while loop, so that I can use that while through
Okay.
condition. And as long as that thing remains true, keep running till I set it equals false or I break. Who asked that question? Did I answer your question or do you want more?
Yes, sir. You answered it, sir.
Okay. Other questions?
All right. I have a question.
So, sir, basic for loops like when you know. Okay, go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah. Shoot.
Okay. So my question is, what is the standard way in programming now? I'm talking about data structures now. You want to take in user details. Which one is better? Is it using a list or using a dictionary?
It depends, yeah, on how you want to manipulate it. For me, lists are very easy for me to manipulate, so they are my go-to. You get? It depends on your programming style. How easy is it for you to manipulate? Lists are very easy for me to manipulate. So anytime I think of a problem, I just think of lists straight.
So is it possible for?
Yeah,
is it possible to put lists like about 5 lists now inside an object? I mean, inside the dictionary.
Something is. Yeah, you can put lists in a dictionary. I did an example. Just note that dictionaries are key value pairs. So for every input you put in the dictionary, you must give it an accompanying key. Let's say list 1. Did you watch the YouTube video?
Yes, I watched the YouTube video.
So I think you can find your answer there. The basic difference is that in dictionaries, you supply the indexes you want to use to access them. Or in lists, you use already predefined indexes, which are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. And yes, you can put lists in a dictionary. I already did an example of that.
Okay, the issue now is, a dictionary normally contains keys and values, right?
Yeah.
Now, a list only uses like indexes as key, or I think I'm right with that.
Yeah, I said so already. Yeah.
Okay, so now you have like 5 lists that you want to put in an object. Now, how do you put like a key that will identify each list?
You use a loop for that. I already did that here. So okay, let's see. Let me do that. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, let's say user number is equal to 1. And to put in new date. This, yeah. So I can see, let's say I want to add 10 people. I use that number less than less than or equal to 10. New date. The user number is equal to date. So if I run this, user number is not defined. User number is not defined. Where's that coming from? Okay, this. Yeah. So if I do my this, oh shit, I didn't do that thing. User number. User number plus equals to 1. So that is it. So if I print out new date now, you see, for each of them, I give it a key of 1 and save as D. User number moves to 2. Give it a key of 2 and move to S. I give it the value of J. So but for your own exercise, these values are the values that you collected. I'm getting echo from you people. I'm getting echo.
I'm getting to I don't know.
Please, I think everybody should type in the chat box. If you know you're not the one echoing, please you can unmute yourself and see what you want to say. But the guy asking for the dictionary here, if you see this thing I did here, I incremented user number for each of this and I used it as a key. Like I said, let me predict is equal. Okay, now this is one way to append something to the dictionary. Give a key value of question answer. So if I print new dict now, you will see that new entry.
Okay, Davis, I understand now. What I actually needed was how to input keys, like keys to
Okay, how to input the keys into the
dictionary
dictionary.
to
Okay,
no, not
did I
that. Like
explain this
if
already?
like yeah, I understand. Just what I needed was like the example you did up now. I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 10 as keys. So I just wanted to know how to automatically input keys, like so. And I noticed you used the while loop. So
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
No more questions.
I think that's the magic there. That's that numbering. Because most of us, what we use name as a key. So get name as key and put
Maximus,
and impute
Maximus.
the text.
Maximus. You don't have to use a dictionary if the dictionary is confusing you. Use a list. Okay, you want to get Jupyter by fire by force, you can get Jupyter as long as the laptop can carry. Jupyter is part of the Anaconda distribution, so you have to download Anaconda. That is for top there. Jupyter is part of Anaconda, so let me see whether I can share Anaconda for you. Whether I can share the screen so you know what Anaconda is. Where is that Zoom? New share. Yeah. Can you guys see anything? What are you seeing now? Are you seeing Anaconda Navigator?
Yeah, the Anaconda environment here.
Yes, so this is Anaconda. So you have to download this before you get the So let's go back to where we were. Any more questions?
Is there an anaconda for Linux?
For anaconda, yeah, there should be. No? There should be. Let me enlarge this so that we can look at the huge part of it. Any more questions? If nobody has any more questions, I think.
Stop where you're fast though.
Yeah, so I use I think you guys are
Hi, David.
Yeah.
Yeah. For the password, the random string, I used I generated random numbers. Is that okay, or should I just change it to string?
It's okay. It's okay. You can generate random numbers, random strings, anything. It's okay.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
But if you want to add this letters and strings together to generate the random password, how do you go about it?
Just the random. This place now. Out. You know you cannot concatenate. Let me show you. Let me show you. Let me not just. Let's see. This plus 1. Let's see what this returns. Okay, now let me put this in a string. You see, you cannot concatenate a string and an integer. That's the numbers you generated. Or if you wrap it in this, you see this now? Who asked that question?
I.
Yeah, so this is it.
Okay.
So whatever it is, make sure you wrap it in str to convert it to string type before you can concatenate it to a string.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Another question, or if nobody has, I think we'll end this in 10 minutes. Yeah. Any more questions? I'm here for 10 minutes if anybody has any more questions.
How are you able to share the video after the class?
Let me check. I think it actually stopped recording. Okay, still recording. Great. Still recording. I'm going to share it on YouTube.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Does anybody have any other questions to ask? I use the list to store all my dictionary values and have committed my task. I think my program met all the mentioned attributes. I hope that won't affect. Nope. As long as you work. Like I told you, I'm not checking for so much. Just make sure that the concepts I'm testing for, make sure they work at all.
Great. Okay, thanks, Davis. Bye.
All right. Looks like nobody has any more questions, yeah? I hope this was able to help, even if it's not helping completely. Just keep going through all this, you would understand the concepts. The room was not built in a day. So Yep. So bye guys.
Hi.
Three,
Hi.
two.
You're okay today? Yeah, I'm fine.
Bye.
Okay.
Hi. Somebody wants to say something?
Yeah. Something. Okay.
Huh?
I'm sorry. No problem.
Are you whining us?
I wait for you, yeah? Okay.
6 more minutes. Who is this now? This video is going on YouTube. Why are you writing on my screen?
Somebody is using how to test Zoom.
As in, who's this person?
Writing on
Okay.
No problem. You.
first
Okay.
time. Very wrong to write on the screen.
That.
Yeah.
So the things that your email. I'm coming. I need to leave this place first.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for coming. See you guys back on Slack.
Goodbye.
I think you have any more questions. We have just 4 minutes.
Sir, can you just scroll up to the code area because we can check through?
Why do you want to see the code so that you copy it?
Why are you hiding the code from us?
Because it's your task. So if I keep saying you must have copied it so much by now.
You can't
But
copy
the thing
everything.
is,
You
if
can't copy
anybody
what you don't
vomits your
understand.
code back to you, you'll know now.
If you don't even understand the code, you can't just copy like that.
But I can show you. Let me show you what I can show you. I can show you this. You can take this for free. For you to understand the concept, that's what's most important.
So you did this before you could write the code out.
No, I read the code. I just did this to show you guys.
Okay.
The flow.
Kind of like a mock-up.
Yeah, kind of like a step of a flow chart, basically. How you want the whole thing to work. It helps your thinking process.
Okay.
Were you guys in XYLOS's class yesterday? Huh? Where he talked about breaking problems into smaller units. That's very helpful. All right, guys, 3 minutes more. Let me show the code one last time.
Keep taking screenshots too.
If you take screenshot and submit it back. Somebody's asking if you can draw on Lucy Chat. Yes, you can draw on Lucy Chat. There is a paid account and there's a free account. But the free account lets you only 3 documents, so you have to keep changing. And you have a limit on the number of what is that thing? The number of these things you can use is limited in the free account. But in the paid account, you're all good. One more minute. Oh goodness, I should have stopped this recording. Oh.